What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Rick Ornelas. Thank you for spending some time with us today because we know time's a valuable resource and we're going to make it worth your while. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just for listening, but for who you are. I know you're sparking change to make the world a better place every day, and I am humbled and grateful for your efforts. It takes all of us doing our part to spread positive change, and that's what this show is all about. Motivating you with stories of struggle, courage, and hope to empower you to make a difference in your life and the lives of others.
Are you interested in having Rick speak at your event or business? Here is what others have to say.
Did not know his story, and it was so inspirational, and his presence on stage, his authenticity was just incredible.
I absolutely loved his performance. It made me feel some type of way.
If you're looking for a speaker for your next event, hire Rick. I promise you this, you will not be disappointed.
Visit rickornelas.com to book him today.
What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm very excited for another Social Impact Spotlight episode where we get to share about someone who's doing amazing things to spread positive change in our world. Each week on our social media, we highlight awesome people and organizations that are making a difference and creating a better world for all of us. We amplify their message by sharing their incredible work on our various platforms so others can learn about how they spark change. Now, once a month, we share one of these spotlights on the podcast so you can learn about them and their work. We want to impact your day with positivity and inspiration. Today, our social impact hero spotlight is Kevin Pearce. Now, former professional snowboarder Kevin Pearce is now an inspirational survivor, sports commentator, motivational speaker, and advocate for brain injury and Down's syndrome. He's the co-founder of Love Your Brain, along with his brother Adam, and he's an advocate for the prevention of brain injuries and the promotion of a healthy brain lifestyle, or brain healthy lifestyle, So how did Kevin get here? Let's start from the beginning of his story. Now, Kevin catapulted onto the professional snowboarding stage in 2005 at the age of 18, rising above others in his division, and as he was quickly becoming the athlete to watch in the ever-evolving sport. The media was super impressed by his incredible abilities, and he gained a lot of recognition from his victories, and he was throwing down some mind-blowing tricks, back then. Now, in December 31st, so New Year's Eve of 2009, his life went in a totally different direction. While he was training for the Winter Olympic Trials in Park City, Utah, he suffered a severe traumatic brain injury, or TBI. Now, although he was wearing a helmet at the time, the injury left Kevin in critical condition and in a medically induced coma that changed his life forever. What followed was a remarkable healing journey that was captured in the film, The Crash Reel. This film brought to light the prevalence and complexity of TBIs around the world. Now, here's a brief clip from the movie.
Kevin Pearce, raised on maple syrup, sharp cheddar, weaned on the hills of Vermont.
This guy right here is slaying it. It's cool. It's good.
We share the same talent. It's such an exciting time for us.
Road to Vancouver right now. This is the road.
In meeting millions of people on the film's global tour, Kevin and his brother Adam began to realize that while each person's injury and story are unique, the pathway to healing is dependent on community and resilience. Now, we know the power of community here in the iSpark Change community. And resilience, that's something that has been a part of my life as well. And you'll see how these two things are an important component of Kevin's journey a little bit later in the episode. So after Kevin's accident, he and his family felt the outpouring of love and support that comes from this community of friends and fans, spread all across the globe. And his community was there every step of his journey toward healing and through his own transformation. Because the brain can heal, but he learned that it won't heal all by itself. He literally had to retrain his brain from zero. All the way back to learning how to walk again, to learning how to eat properly, even seeing, as he was plagued with double vision. Now, he was convinced that he could relearn, and he refused to lose hope. So remarkably, 712 days after his traumatic brain injury, Kevin rode his snowboard again in Breckenridge, Colorado with his friends, sponsors, and fans. Now, because traumatic brain injury can be a lifelong experience for both the person affected and their caregivers, and his brother Adam was his major caregiver, those two discovered firsthand how cultivating resilience was a necessary catalyst towards moving forward. And that's the power of resilience. You'll see it. It's very, very powerful. So along the way, the two brothers also discovered that for many people, community and resilience just aren't accessible. I mean, this is back in the early, 2012, 2013, 14. This is, pre Zoom and pandemic and everything. So it wasn't as big as it is now. And isolation, lack of purpose, stigmatization, these are all common threats to healing after a TBI. So together with the lived experience of someone living with a TBI in Kevin and caregiving for someone with a TBI, as Adam was, they wanted to provide the tools and resources they discovered to those who needed them, the millions who experience a traumatic brain injury each year and don't have access. So now, 12 years later, since his injury, Kevin has found new purpose with his social movement and foundation, Love Your Brain. In 2014, Love Your Brain began as a question: how can we help people build community and cultivate resilience? Since then, they've created and provided free and accessible programs for people affected with TBI, because they believe that everyone in the TBI community deserves to access their resilience, embrace who they are now, and reach their full potential, as Kevin is doing himself. Their programs are intentionally designed around what Kevin discovered in his own healing journey, that helping people not to feel alone and to help people that understand and will support you in the process is super important. And this includes family members and caregivers playing an essential role in healing. They have a beautiful and growing community full of love, support, resources, and compassion across North America. Includes tons of great programs, which you can learn more about at their website. We'll make sure we put the link there. Now, we actually featured Love Your Brain as a social impact spotlight of the week on our Instagram a few months ago. That's what made us first aware of Kevin. And we'll make sure that we share a link to that feature so you can learn more about them, because they have some awesome programs like I was mentioning earlier. Now, what's most inspiring is that what Kevin and his brother Adam have built after going through a lot of recovering to later create something far greater, creating social impact and spreading positive change. It shows you that the love of your family and the power of his brain continue to lead him his way to build a new life and a new purpose. And you know what? Kevin even has more purpose just recently in the last about year and a half, as he's since married, and he recently had a beautiful baby girl. So I know the best is yet to come for Kevin Pearce and his family and all the incredible things he's going to create to spread positive change in our world for others. So it's just an amazing story. And we hope you enjoyed that, Impact Heroes, because remember, it's our stories that connect us all. I love sharing this story with you. We will have all the links and more information down in the show notes, so you can check them out. Follow Love Your Brain and follow Kevin Pearce. And we hope you enjoyed learning more about Kevin Pearce as our social impact spotlight as much as I shared it with you. We'll see you next time.
Remember, Impact Heroes, every positive action can be a spark moment that has a ripple effect that spreads far beyond the initial act. So go out there and spark change. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, then please smash that 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. We value your comments and we want to hear from you in the community. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and we'll see you next week on the iSpark Change podcast.